So for my everyday carry, I'm right-handed, so what I keep on my right side is
very dirty.
Very dirty. Sebenza 21 with a unique graphic with a raindrop graphic on it, and I have the raindrop Damascus. I also took the liberty of laser engraving the raindrop Damascus pattern on the back of the titanium scale.
That's pretty cool.
I like it. You know, it was kind of a test run, to be honest. I wanted to make sure that, you know, if you're gonna test something, I'm gonna test it on my own stuff first. So this was when we had first gotten into the titanium laser engraving, and so I tested it on mine, and I thought, what better way to. So that's
your box cutter?
No, my box cutter is this, which is a ZT456. My second one, the first one I lost, which I'll get into, but this one is lightly modified. I have a 3-stage anodizing with a pattern on it, a crossing pattern. I bead blasted the pivot to take the anodizing off. I took the backspacer out, and I put barrel standoffs on the back. Also, 3-stage anodized the back. This is my second one. The first one I had spent quite a bit of time modifying. I had changed the scales up a bit and everything, and it has this kind of shitty steel clip on it.
How are we good at that?
I don't know. That seems a little harsh. It seems a steel clip that is inadequate for.
Basic.
It's very basic. And so my first one, I had that, and I noticed
pumpkin spice lattes.
Yeah, well, I noticed it came late. I spent quite a bit of time modifying it, and I'd been carrying it less than 2 weeks, and I noticed that the clip was loosening up, and I thought, I'll get it when I get to work. You know, when I get to work, I'll throw some Loctite in there, and I tightened it up like 2 times, and I noticed it was coming loose again. I thought, I'll get to it when I get to it, and lost it. So I immediately, after a lot of cussing and stuff, and then I went and I got another one. And I didn't quite put as much effort into modifying this one. I still took the backspacer off and still put the barrel spacers in it. And I bought, from ZT, I bought the 0850.
I think so.
Yeah, 0850. They have a milled titanium clip.
Which one's the 850? 850
is the one that has the, it has a barrel thumb spacer, and it has the dip in the blade where your thumb fits. And it almost looks like the thumb stud was fit over the top of the blade. And it has a little cutout, but
oh, okay, now what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, but it uses a milled titanium clip. So I ordered those from ZT, and I modified it because normally it would hang off the back. It was a little too big, so I modified it to fit the style of the 456. And I actually had to order 2 because if you want to make it left or right, they're not. It's not symmetrical between the sides.
Okay.
So if you modify this clip to fit this side and then you move it over here, it doesn't fit. It doesn't look right. So I ordered 2 of them, and depending on if I want to carry it to my left or my right, and that's that's not something I expect everybody to do because these clips are $25 from ZT plus to modify it to fit and everything. I mean, it's a $100 add-on just to do that, but
you haven't lost it yet.
Yeah, and well, I mean, it speaks a little bit to how much I really do like this design and like this knife overall, and the steel. I gotta say, 20 CV, I'm a big fan. But it speaks to how much I like this knife in that I was willing to go that far just to make sure I don't lose this thing again because I really do like it. It's a nice knife. It's smooth. It works well. That's basically my all around. If I'm gonna beat on it, I usually hope that I'll go for my left side first. Every once in a while, I use the Chris Reeve for stuff I shouldn't be using the Chris Reeve for.
What's the pattern on here?
That is it's a gradient pattern that we offer on the website.
It's almost kind of like a fish scale, or maybe like a chemical process going from one to another. That's
well, so what I did is I took the titanium scale and I made it one color, and then I ran the gradient up it. And so it starts dense to light, and then anodize that. And then I took that same gradient pattern and ran it back over the opposite way. So the gradients cross.
Okay.
and then anodize that a third time. So there's 3 different colors. So there's a background anodizing color, then there's a gradient one way and a gradient cross.
Okay.
And so I did that to both sides, just to when you're at a knife shop, you kind of gotta.
Did you lose a clip at some point? You have a black clip here.
Yeah. I did lose another screw out of it, but it gets caught in my seatbelt once in a while. But.
Yeah.
Don't we have one on the wall somewhere?
Yeah, actually, originally that's how it started out. Right above the butterflies on the far left, you got it.
Right here.
Yeah. So you can see how the pivot started out blue, and it started out a solid stonewashed titanium. And it's a great knife. I really like it. I mean, if you're just gonna take a factory knife and just beat the shit out of it, mine's been sharpened a couple of times. You did the standoffs. Yeah, and take the backspacer out and put the barrel standoffs in. But
I mean, the jimping's kind of confusing to me because normally you'd want that along the top of the blade, wouldn't you?
Well, yeah, but I think Glory has the best point about that. If you're flipping it over and holding it backwards, I mean that's.
I don't know why that reminds me of Guardians of the Galaxy. When the dude's just got 2 long knives and he's just randomly stabbing at like this giant space worm and can't get out. Just,
Not in the second one? Yeah, the second one?
I think it is in the second one, yeah.
I may have seen it a couple times.
Oh, just a couple times.
Your blade is significantly smaller than the new one, though.
Yeah, well, I've had it a little while. I use it a lot.
Yeah.
Well, and that also speaks to how much I like that knife. You know,
Yeah.
not only did I take the time to modify it,
Yeah, it's
but I bought it twice. I've taken the time to, I understand the clip. There's nothing wrong with the clip. It's on par with every other factory clip that we have on the wall and things like that. It just didn't fit. It didn't fit what I wanted out of the knife, and so.
Yeah.
But I'll spend the money and make the changes and turn it into what I want, because I think what I was starting with and the knife it is out of the box is such a great knife that I think it's worth it.
Isn't the 804 have a clip like this? Thicker one?
850. No, it's 804.
804 does,
so
the
there's
one they stopped making.
yeah. So there's the 0850 and the
I know
and the
blue one. It's got
0804.
a bump on the end.
Yeah.
It's sort of
Yeah, and they both the 0804 has a black version,
Gotcha.
and the 0850 has a stonewash version.
Gotcha.
Which
So you
we
got the
stock
stonewash.
both. But
Don't they call these factory customs?
that is a thing that ZT is pushing. Yeah,
So would
the
you call
factory
that
custom thing.
a shop custom?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it's what we'll come around to.
What else do you carry?
Carry one of ours. I carry a Riot, LMAX, black micarta scales. You know, we've gone into detail.
Jesus Christ.
Good catch, though.
Thank you.
I won't
Very
go
good.
into too much detail on this knife. We've done it in other videos, and I won't make anybody else sit through that. Recurve, modified Tonto, titanium barrels. There it is. I carry.
You can hear the thump when it hits the counter.
Yeah, I carry a Scout Carry leather sheath, which I won't pull off because I'm not going to take my belt off right now. And then, last but not least,
Actually unloaded one, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Glock 30S, double stack 45, 10 in the mag, 1 in the pipe. Had a friend of mine, actually a friend of ours, comes in the shop a lot. His name is Josh. Do a custom frame stippling for me. Also took out a little bit of material here on the trigger guard, recessed it here, also stippled it. I sent out the slide to Fire 4 Effect down the lower 48. They did some really nice work. Did some dragon scales for me. Did some nice grip. Did a little bit of weight loss for me. It turned out really nice. Really happy with their work. I like it a lot. It's actually called Rule 5. Actually, it's called Rule 5 mod. I like it a lot. I mostly carry this when I'm going to be at the shop, just because if you look, I've only a front, I have back sights, but no, there's nothing there. It's all physical. because it's a close quarter stopping power 45. I'm not taking this out camping. You can't stop a bear with a 45.
No.
You can shoot at it, but you're not stopping. You're just gonna piss it off.
I feel like we should do
Phil did the
EDC for
Cerakote.
camping.
Yeah, yeah. And then send it to our friend Phil, who doesn't live in the state anymore, but is a master with Cerakote, and he did the Desert Tan with the battle worn pattern on there for me. I think it worked out really well. Overall, I'm really happy with the gun. Like I said, if I'm gonna be in the shop, would be my everyday. But maybe for another video, another time, we can talk about other ones.
Okay.
And that pretty much. Oh wait,
Hold on.
I got a pen. So
It's fine.
so I also have a Nyala, a Lionsteel Nyala, mostly titanium. They have different inserts that come in the middle. If you take it apart, you can see that they have this titanium frame, but they always have a little insert. You can get carbon fiber, or you can get a lot of different stuff.
Okay.
This one happens to be Damascus. Overall, I really like the pen itself. It's well built. It seems really good. When I got it, the Damascus was polished, so I did dip it in acid a little bit to get a little bit of that contrast effect, so it didn't just kind of blend into the pen. The only complaint I have about this pen is the ink. This is not a Fisher Space Pen insert, but this will only take a Fisher Space Pen insert unless you modify. This is a zebra insert that I modified to fit because I don't want to use the word hate, but I absolutely hate Fisher Space Pen inserts. I feel like you can take a $200 pen and make it write like a 39-cent Bic, and that just irritates the shit out of me. And so that's the only thing I dislike about this pen. If they could just make it a half inch longer, so that it would take a standard Parker insert, it would vastly improve your options, and it would take a pen that was, that looks like it should write really well, and then it writes like crap. I don't like, and in the shop, customers use my pen all the time.
So you're saying your pen's basically a DeLorean.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic. It looks like it should be fast.
Yeah, but it's got
this-
150 horsepower.
Yeah.
But if anybody finds an Archangel polymer defense pen
Made by
made by ProMag, just contact me. I'll buy as many as you can find. It was the greatest pen I ever
It's a
had.
dangerous thing to say.
It's been discontinued. Nobody will
Great.
find any of them.
Yeah, we've looked.
We've
all
been trying
over.
to buy them for years.
Yep.
It's been a year and a
We
half
got
now.
like a couple in the shop, and then
Yeah.
you got one. I think you sold one to a customer, and then you remodified another one.
Yeah.
And then you carried that one, and then you lost that like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So.
And so
somewhere
I
else.
haven't been carrying this long. It's been less than a month.
Yep.
Okay.
But I mean, like I said, overall construction of the pen is top notch. It's great, and I'm sure I'm in the minority. There are plenty of people out there who don't mind a Fisher Space Pen refill.
Doug loves his.
Yeah, exactly. Doug that is here at the shop.
It is a little small.
It is a little small, but I can live with that. I mean, as long as it gets to the end of my hand, I can
To
live
be
with
fair,
it.
the previous one you had was like this giant
It wasn't that
honking-
big.
I don't know if it's
And it
that
was
big,
heavy.
but no,
I
it's
mean, it's not like you're
polymer.
trying to write with your Chris Reeve.
But it was good, and that's the only complaint, and that's not even something on Lionsteel. I mean, Lionsteel's not making crappy inserts; it's just Fisher that's making crappy inserts. But